Hi, I'm Vicky from TrainAid. Welcome to the Level 5 DIT talk through of teaching evidence. This is number 4, lesson plans. These particular lesson plans are linked to your 10 lesson observations. So each time, as we've said before, you will send in a lesson observation, a self-evaluation, and a lesson plan, and you will do that 10 times. This is just one example of a lesson plan. We don't have a TrainAid template for a lesson plan. There are some settings that don't do lesson plans anymore. They stick to having a scheme of work and they work from that because it's really thorough. However, one of the stipulations of the course is for you to do a lesson plan for each observation. So you will need to do them. So whichever format you pick is absolutely fine, whether you find your own template or whether you've got one in-house or a colleague's got one that you particularly like. That's all fine, as long as you've got some of the obviously key elements that we would expect to see. So this one is nice and clear. So it's a good example to show you. And it shows you there what qualification it is, where the lesson comes in the scheme of work, how much time the lesson takes, the unit, etc. And then you've got the learning outcomes and the assessment criteria. And of course, that's what we need to see on a lesson plan. What were you trying to make the learners understand? And how were you going to tell if they've achieved those objectives? And then it's nice and clearly split into timings, activities, what will the learners be doing? What will the resources be? How will you assess it? Right through the lesson in nice chunks, right up to the end. And then there's a way that the lesson could be adjusted and it can be evaluated afterwards to feed into the next lesson for planning. There are always improvements you could make to any lesson plan. Here, it would be nice to see some inclusion, reference to equality and diversity, or British values, etc. There's a lot that you can put on there. Some people like to do a 5-minute lesson plan where it's more like a mind map of the lesson. Some people will do a very brief sketch of the lesson. It's up to you. We will always ask for more detail if it wasn't quite clear enough. But as long as we can understand what the aims and outcomes were, and then we look at it with the observation and self-evaluation, does it all make sense as a picture? Then that will be absolutely fine with us.